I was torn.
That's a massive cop-out.
I wanted Cavani.
It's a cop-out. It's you refusing to reject Rashford to get Mané into the team. It's a cop-out. Yes, then. Right. Firstly, let's get all the formal nonsense out of the way. We're the Flatcappers. This is Flatcap Football. All of our intros are on social media. So instead of us baffling about that, you can go and look at our social media. They're all linked down below in the description. Right, lads. We're going to get straight into this one. Beers in. Let's go.
Yeah. Right. Let's start with the postponements.
To be fair. Right. I'm gonna be the guy that says it because obviously I think it affects us and Southampton the most. I don't agree that teams have been punished for other teams like carelessness.
If you want to pick someone out, what about Jack Grealish?
Grealish or Grealish?
Yeah, a couple of occasions, isn't it? A couple of occasions we've seen breaking rules.
I think, and obviously it's been publicly mentioned that Man City's issues over the new year as well.
It seems like a lack of repercussions as well. The lack of with Benjamin Mendy. I think he was found to have broken it twice for Man City, and he just sat on the bench like nothing's happened afterwards. So I think then there needs to be something addressed with people who are breaking the regulations and restrictions.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's more letting football down and letting the fans down. Like, we're in the middle of the lockdown, in the middle of the pandemic. We've not had anything to really look forward to. We can't go to the games. The only joy we've got at the moment is watching the games on TV. And that's being stripped by the players themselves not following rules. So I think they just need to kind of have a think before they do things. Look at Celtic, for example, in the Scottish Premier League. They went to Dubai for no reason, just to train for 2 weeks.
Do we think the players have to have a certain level of responsibility?
Absolutely.
The Premier League for some people is all they've got to look forward to at the moment.
It's not just a sense of responsibility. It's just straight up breaking the national law that's been put in place to protect people. Like, it's not even a case of like, oh, they're just doing what everybody else is doing, because they're not. They straight up just broke the law, which was put in place to protect people. Why don't we move on to the Premier League, fellas? Predictions time. Basically, every week we're going to nominate one of us to do stats and sort of get ourselves ready for the previews for everybody else. So that burden fell onto me this week. So first up, the first game of the weekend is actually quite a big game. I think obviously everybody's talking about Manchester United Liverpool because it's top versus second, and it's obviously a rivalry, the two sort of most successful clubs in the country. But you've got Wolves versus West Brom, which in that part of the world is much bigger than Manchester United versus Liverpool. It's quite interesting, actually. Do you know the last time they played each other in the Premier League was 2012, when West Brom were a mid-table team and Wolves were a relegation-threatened team, and West Brom won 5-1. Now,
it ain't gonna be that again. I can tell you that right now.
I think it might be the other way around this time.
I don't know. I'm not sure Wolves are capable of scoring 5 goals at the moment.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. Our Wolves are team. I can say
1 or 2.
Yeah.
See, I think it's going to be really interesting, actually, because it's structure versus structure. It's Big Sam's. We're going to keep kicking it downfield. We're going to set up defensively. We're not going to concede, and we'll try and win 1-0. Versus Nuno's, we'll score 1 or 2, but we're going to do it in a structured way so that you can't break us down.
The only issue, Big Sam plays the worst football. Well, sorry, second worst. Let's not forget Newcastle. But going on, but going on to Wolves, they were never the big goal scorers, and obviously losing Raul Jimenez early on in the season due to that head injury has hindered them massively.
What do we all think of Fabio Silva?
I was just about to mention Fabio Silva. I think Fabio Silva's done really well, and he's come in and he's performing well, and he looks quick on the ball, and he looks to be doing the right things. It's just he hasn't yet shown that he can replace a goal scoring talent.
It's not just replacing a striker; it's replacing one of the best in the competition.
I would say in terms of his ability, his stature, he definitely has all the tools to replace him if need be. But I don't think how is he 18, 19? He hasn't got the experience that Jimenez has, and the only experience he had was not in a, let's say, top league. It wasn't in the best of leagues.
So predictions then, lads. What do you reckon? I'm going to go
2-0.
straight on the bold train. I reckon West Brom nick this. I genuinely think
I'm going for a 2-0.
2-0 Wolves.
I'm going to 1-0 West Brom. I'm going to 1-0 West Brom. I think West Brom nick this. I think, having watched Wolves versus Everton, Wolves were very good, but structurally they could be broken down. And if you can defend, then
I don't see more than 2, maybe 3, maybe 3 if things get a bit crazy. But no, I'm not seeing any more than that in this game.
West Brom. Back against the wall. Right, next, slightly different, slightly less defensive game, I imagine, because it's Leeds taking on Brighton.
Oh, Jesus.
The last time these two teams played each other was in the Championship, of course. They went 2-0, 2-0. They both got a victory, and they both won their games at home 2-0 in that season. That was 4 seasons ago now. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two clubs there's been less than 2.5 goals. Now, does that mean that there's going to be less than 2.5 goals in this game, knowing how Leeds play now in comparison to how they used to play?
Great answer, no.
Leeds don't defend. That's not the.
This is true.
That's not their way, I'm afraid.
No. Well, I was going to say as well, Leeds have actually got over 2.5 goals in games where Leeds have been involved. There's been over 2.5 goals in 7 of the last 8 games they've played. The exception was the 1-0 win against Burnley. So yeah, it's leaning towards an attacking, dominant game.
I'll start as the over 2.5 lover, but I'm going just a solid 2-1 to Leeds.
Closet Leeds fan in the corner, for those that do not know.
I think the game would have been much different had fans been there, so I'm sticking with 2-1.
All right. We understand you want Leeds to win. It's fine. I actually think Leeds will win this as well, to be fair. I think I could maybe even 3-4-1. I think after the Crawley game, Leeds are going to just ramp themselves up. There's always a response when Marcelo Bielsa has finished.
Yeah, a game like that was not a good result for them. That was a little bit embarrassing, let's put it that way.
So I think Leeds as well.
Andrews?
I'm going to go 3-1 Leeds.
I was going to go 3-1, 3 or 4-1. I'll go for 3-1, I think. I think that's a most likely.
That's a sensible choice, isn't it? Next game, we don't need to linger on because it's not a big one. West Ham versus Burnley. Burnley did the double over West Ham last season. West Ham are higher in the division at the minute, but Burnley are slightly ahead of West Ham on the form table. So this one is really proper mid-table, old-fashioned mid-table battle, West Ham Burnley.
I'm going to say straight 1-1.
You took the words right out of my mouth there.
No, I don't think anything.
It is such a 1-1 draw, this game.
I do think West Ham have had a great season. I think their season did turn, not to blow our own trumpet, when they beat us in the cup. Since then, they've been a different team to what they were at the start. But
us being Leeds or us being Charlton?
Us being Charlton. I just see this being a boring flick over, fast forward on match of the day, 1-1.
Fulham Chelsea is next, a nice London derby. Fulham absolute draw merchants. They've drawn the last 5 games in the Premier League, including Liverpool, Southampton, and Tottenham. So there's 3 big points there for Fulham. Obviously, it comes on a run of 5 draws, but to get a point against Liverpool and get a point against Southampton and get a point against Spurs, it's good going. Jack messaged me to say Everton making Fulham look like Brazil, and well. They look better than Brazil against Liverpool.
I'm probably going to go for 3-1. I think Fulham are going to test them in the early doors, but I think Chelsea will have too much in the end.
Leicester, Southampton. Southampton, obviously, massive turnaround since they lost 9-0 to Leicester last season. They're both quite steady at the minute. Southampton haven't lost in 3. Leicester haven't lost in 4. Southampton's losses was to City 4 games ago. Leicester's was to Everton 5 games ago. So quite evenly matched teams at the moment.
I'm going to go 2-2.
I was just literally about to say I will go 2-2.
For God's sake, I was, but I can't make it 3 out of 3 of 2-2s. I'm going to go for 3-2 to Leicester.
I think 2-1 Southampton. I'm gonna say it. Although Danny Ings has just
he's got COVID. He will be out of the game.
Completely ignore me. I'm going to 2-1.
They're going to be reliant on Che.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. Next one is Sheffield Spurs. Spurs are unbeaten in 6, but they lost this fixture 3-1 in July. The last Spurs win against Sheffield United was in 2015 when Sheffield United were a League One team. Andros Townsend scored the goal that night. Sheffield United Spurs, obviously Sheffield United coming off the back of the win against Newcastle last time out as well. I think that Spurs absolutely annihilate them. I think Spurs come back into the row and they win 2-0.
I think it's going to be a very comfortable game. I think they just walk away with a nice, comfortable 3-0.
For me, 2-1 Spurs.
Next one is almost the complete opposite of Sheffield United. Is Man City against Palace. City have won the last 7 games.
I think this is a runaway. I think it's going to be. I'm going for 4-0 Man City. I'm
going worse. I think I'm debating between 5 or 6-1, but for the love of the game, I'll go 6-1.
For the love of the game,
3-0.
Right, the last game before we get to the Manchester Liverpool rivalry is Arsenal versus Newcastle. I know we've got a couple of friends that are an Arsenal fan and a Newcastle fan, so they won't forgive us for guessing this either way. Arsenal haven't lost in 5 games now. Newcastle, on the other hand, have lost all of the last 3. There's been a massive improvement in defence for Arsenal. They've got 4 clean sheets in a row now. The last loss was in the Cup against City. The last league defeat was against Everton in December. Newcastle have won only 1 at the last 18 meetings against Arsenal, and that was in 2018 where they won 2-1.
There's one scoreline that sticks in mind for me, and that's going to be a nice, boring 1-0 to Arsenal. That's what I think that's what it's going to be.
Let's get on to it then, because that's what people have come to.
Here we go.
United versus Liverpool. So 20 times champions of England versus the 19 times champions of England. The Premier League Masters versus the current holders. First versus second. Jack, Connor, I mean, this is very much in your court in terms of knowing how the game will pan out in your minds as fans. But as the title suggests, you've come for a combined 11, and it's Connor and Jack. We've asked to compile combined 11s just to make them really, really biased so that you guys shout at us a lot. I mean, I assume you both got Alisson in net. I think it's pretty obvious.
Of course.
You both got Trent at right back, I assume.
Before we carry on, can we just talk about how hard it was for me to leave my guy Dave out?
Dave saves.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
I would have been irate if he had been in that starting 11.
I still don't understand how you love David De Gea. Like, he was awful.
He was. Years ago, he was the best in the world, but
he was so
this year it's been he's not a good
season. I think I'd even put Kelleher in net over De Gea.
Over the last 12 months.
Quavine, what a keeper.
It's been hard to watch De Gea.
He's been awful to watch. Especially knowing that you've got Henderson sat on the bench.
I stick by him. I think Henderson's
for me, it doesn't.
A serious mistake.
I love how you've got David De Gea in the background, by the way. I completely just noticed.
Yeah,
it.
during
there he is in the background.
One done on purpose.
But I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer. Alisson is a better goalkeeper. Trent at right back, I assume.
Mine was Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Harry Maguire, and Andy Robertson.
And to the fury of, I'm sure, many United fans, there is no United players in my back four. Because I'm afraid Joe Matip makes it into that final centre-back spot.
See, I'm intrigued here, because as much as Harry Maguire is a Wigan Athletic legend, big up the Maguire fan club, he is just not on the same level as the Liverpool defence. I am sorry.
I've said it several times. I think Joe Matip's one of the most underrated players, centre halves in the league. The main problem with Joe Matip is he's made of paper. That's the issue. So the lad can't stay fit.
I mean, I think we're all just completely looking over, maybe Joe Gomez, Charlton legend.
I like Joe Gomez. I think Matip's more consistent.
Defender. I mean, the younger audience that only play FIFA will disagree with me, because Joe Gomez is absolutely immense on FIFA. But this season, when he has come in, he's not looked good, Joe Gomez.
He had last season when
he 7-2 game against Aston Villa. He looked
he was
ferocious.
Yeah, that's one of the worst performances I've seen from centre half in a while. I'm not gonna lie. It's not often you see a centre half come off at half time when they're not injured. But I completely understand why he did take him off, because he was just getting destroyed, and it was not a pretty sight.
It was atrocious, and he's still having to rebuild his confidence from that. At the end of the day, we're talking about a back four that includes Van Dijk as a definite, but Van Dijk's injured, so I don't know how that happened. Honestly, I've not got a clue.
Same
Van
show.
Dijk will not be available.
I don't remember it at all.
So, who are the two centre halves that are the combined 11 that are actually going to take part? Because Liverpool at the minute have got a massive problem at centre half.
I'm still going to include
Van Dijk's
Matip.
missing.
Matip is questionable.
Matip available for the game?
He's questionable. I think he was questionable for training today. So I think it's going to be a game day situation.
If he's missing though, what do Liverpool turn to? Do they go back to Fabinho and Jordan Henderson?
Henderson is going to be the most composed. My issue with Henderson, last time I saw him, he looked uncomfortable positioning wise as a centre back. As much as it kills me to say it, I'm probably going to start Nat Phillips if Nat Phillips next to Fabinho. Henderson in centre mid. I think when Henderson's playing centre mid, he gives the midfield a bit more energy.
Van Dijk's injured, so I'm gonna take the executive decision to say that the combined of the combined is got to be Matip and Maguire because Van Dijk is not playing. Midfield wise, if you've both not got Thiago Alcantara, then you're wrong. You're incorrect because he is the best midfielder available for both sides.
Oh my God, I'm
going to be that guy. And if you've not both got Bruno Fernandes, then you're incorrect because he's the second best midfielder available for both sides.
I can see the steam coming out of Andrew's eyes there.
Well, Gary Neville told us to get a bit over top, so I should get a bit over top. But I'm going to hold my tongue.
I think Bruno's incredible. I liked him before he came to United. I think he was fantastic in Portugal.
How much would it hurt you if Bruno Fernandes scored a 96-minute penalty to win 1-0?
It wouldn't hurt because it'd just be expected, wouldn't it? So the person who's going in third for me is Fabinho.
No, I went for most talented, so I went for Paul Pogba.
Yeah, Conor did it the less boring way. You did it the boring way, thinking the tactics, even the actual.
No. I don't want a Thiago, Pogba, and Bruno. Who's defending? I want Thiago to get a bit free and just let him do.
You've got Maguire and Matip at the back. You don't need.
Oh Jesus, that's good in the air, but bloody hell.
You should have put Fabinho in your back four instead of Matip then, because that were a terrible decision.
Mr. Paul Pogba is a very good footballer. I like
form at the minute.
Fully agree.
He's done bits for my fantasy team. I'll have you know. On the right, I assume you both put Salah because if anybody's put Dan James in, then just leave now.
Yeah. Dan James in my team.
Your opinion is instantly not valid. Having Dan James in anything.
Well, thing is, I actually haven't. The reason I've actually gone on the right, I'll explain it in a minute. I've gone for Sadio Mane on the right, and I'll tell you the reason this being. I know you're going to raise your eyebrows, but before Salah came, Mane played right wing, which I think everyone forgets. Mane was a right winger.
Is that because you don't want to put Salah in your team?
No, because Salah's going to go up top.
So you've put Salah at strike and Mane right wing.
Mane played right wing in the first season for Liverpool. He can play there.
We can't forget the goals against Arsenal.
I'm confused.
He literally destroyed Arsenal from the right wing, and it's Mane, isn't he? He could play any wing or up front if he wants to. It doesn't matter.
If you put on left,
Marcus Rashford. Yeah. I was torn. I wanted Cavani.
It's a cop out. It's you refusing to reject Rashford to get Mane into the team. It's a cop out.
Rashford's had a better season than Firmino.
I'm down with it. That front three. It's probably
as much as I'm. You know how much of a big Firmino fanboy I am. Always love Firmino.
The ballista central defensive.
But exactly the box-to-box striker defender. But if we're talking this season, Rashford has had a better season than Firmino. As much as it hurts me to say it, I wanted Cavani up front, but then I thought, you know what? He's not actually been that good this season. If it was prime Cavani,
he's actually not.
If it's prime Cavani, he's going straight up top. Cavani with Salah and Mane, I'm having that every day of the week.
Fingers crossed, Andrews. I'm hoping you've not copped out like Jack just did.
I'm sorry to say I have indeed copped out like Jack just did. Mane on the right, Salah up top, Rashford left. It was very close for me between.
I know you like Tony,
including Cavani and the main man himself, Tony Martial, of course.
So my front three to not be a cop out, to actually like bring some stability to this combined 11, is Salah on the right because he is the best right winger, Mane on the left because he is the best left winger, and then Anthony Martial up top because he has been the best centre forward this season. all you guys at home, you can comment down below. Just let us know your combined 11s, just to make sure that we're right and they have copped out.
There's gonna be plenty of Tonys in that team. I'll tell you.
Forget about the combined 11 now. We'll look at the actual game itself. United are top, Liverpool are second. The head-to-head actually favours Liverpool, especially being at Anfield. The draw is actually heavily probable based on recent years. United have won one of the last 11 meetings, but since Klopp's arrival at Liverpool, he's won 4, lost 4, and drawn 6. So what's going to happen on Sunday afternoon?
I don't think it'll live up to the hype, to be honest.
I don't think this is going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be a fantastic game.
1-1, maybe 2-2 at a push for me.
If this is going to also depend on whether Joe Matip's fit, that's going to vastly differ how I feel about the game. If Joe Matip's fit and we can have a back four with Joe Matip and Fabinho at centre back, I am way more confident than if Matip's not fit. I'm going to do a prediction based off Matip's going to be starting next to Fabinho. And I think we're going to set up, I think Thiago Henderson, probably Gini, I would say, but that third could interchange with a few players. The front three will pick itself, with Jota still not back until the end of the month by the looks of things.
This is a long chat for just telling me what you think is going to happen in the game.
Yeah, I think 2-1, I would say.
Did you all come for full analysis? And
hey, that's what you're going to get at me.
This is it, apparently.
But yeah, I think I'm going to go for 2-1 to us. I think, especially if Matip's fit, then I'm confident that we can at least not be embarrassing defensively. So,
Andrews?
That's what I'm going for.
Firstly, I think it's questionable how we'll set up. We'll either go with a 5 or the diamond again, given Pogba's form. So it's a hard one to predict because it also depends which United turn up, how well we play.
Which Ollie turns up.
I'm gonna back my side, especially with Liverpool's recent form, and I'm gonna hope for a 2-1 United win.
I'm gonna straight up as the last guy. And given the shit I'm worried, I think you can all make an assumption of which Premier League team I am vastly behind, and thus which Premier League team I want to win this weekend. I'm just going to hope that I'm correct.
Pick with your head, not your heart.
I'm going to pick with my heart because I refuse to predict a Liverpool win.
No.
So United 1-0. Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot in the 97th minute. 1-0. That'll do me. Right then, I think that's everything. I think that's the game predicted, the Premier League predicted, the combined 11 done. That's it. We're done for our first video. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed so far. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We've now got a Twitch. Our Twitch account is the same as our YouTube account. So please go over to the followers on Twitch. We're going to actually be live on Twitch on Saturday afternoon for the 3 o'clock kickoff. So if this video is out in time, which I'm praying it is, and you manage to watch it in time, then come over to Twitch. Have a chat with us on Twitch about the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We'll be going through our group bets and whatnot, of the standard things you do at 3 o'clock. Maybe watch Soccer Saturday if we really fancy it. We'll see how we go. There's lots of content planned, and we're going to try and get as much out as possible. We've obviously been trying to be really active on Twitter and Instagram at the minute as we introduce everybody. There's more people to introduce yet. We're not a full group just quite yet, but hopefully we will be very soon. So keep an eye out for those. Like I said, comments down below appreciated, liking the videos appreciated, retweets, subscriptions, follows, anything you can do, it's massively appreciated. Please continue to spread the word. We're going to try and set a target of 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's our first big target, so that's what we're aiming towards. So if you can help us get to that number, it'd be greatly appreciated. Then, right, lads, that is everything. So from myself, from Connor, from Jack, from Stuart, and from the rest of the Flatcappers, let's say thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
See you later.